Anthony Rogers Show. My name is Des Mulroney. I'm a comedian from Chicago. I just did a new movie with comedian Doug Stanhope. It's going to be called The Road Dog. It's about a comedian's adventures with alcohol. It's going to be out now on Amazon Prime and Apple TV. Joe Rogan talked about it a little bit, so getting some buzz around it. We're really excited about it. So this is the trailer to our new movie. Thanks so much.
You ready for your headliner? He's been doing it for over 30 years. Please welcome the Road Dog, Jimmy Quinn!
My name is Jimmy, and I'm an alcoholic.
How you feeling, Jimmy? You look a little worn out.
I'm a road comic. I am worn out.
No way.
I'm not the maid.
I'm your son. Can I take it to lunch?
Give me a minute.
Sure, I'm not what you expected.
You're exactly what I expected. I just want to be a comedian. Maybe it's genetic.
I just dropped out of med school. Hold your applause.
It's funny. Let's say we spend a little bit more time together. We'll have some goofs.
I'm afraid you won't be receiving any money, but I will pray for you.
You got a nice kid there. Certainly thinks highly of you.
He doesn't know me that well,
A
Phil.
little nervous, because to know what you did to your last headlining act.
I've been booking Jimmy 20 years.
Your father's probably one of the funniest people I've met in my life, but he has no discipline.
Comedy's about pain.
It's like he doesn't even care.
He's an addict. Until he decides he wants to do it for himself, there's nothing you or anyone else can do for him.
How come he never made on TV?
TV isn't real comedy. Real comedy's live, in the moment. I go on that stage, I'm the talent, I'm the writer, I'm the director. If the customer doesn't like it, I tell the customer to go
Who is in the car?
Oh, that's David. He's my son. Top that for a living.
Remember me, how I made you laugh.
You are now listening to the greatest show in the universe.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong. And right now you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, this is Jordan Belfort, the real Wolf of Wall Street, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sean Danielson from Smile Empty Soul, and you are listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
The Anthony Rogers Show.
Brian Banderak from the Verb Pipe here, and you're listening to the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, this is James Jude Courtney, Michael Myers, a.k.a. The Shape, in Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and the soon-to-be-released Halloween Ends. And this is the Anthony Rogers Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special episode of the Anthony Rogers Show, brought to you by Smokies Edibles, your passport to a world of delightful cannabis-infused treats. Smokies Edibles is the premier edible company in the United States and abroad. Should you travel, you will always know your Smokies and its consistency is awaiting you. Today, join your hosts, Anthony Rogers and Nikki Knightly, as they take you on a journey into the fascinating realm of cannabis culture, infused with insights, stories, and loads of comedy. Smokies Edibles is proud to be your guide on this adventure. Smokies caters to all consumers, having a wide array of the perfect edible for the perfect setting. 90 years of making candies has brought Smokies Edibles to the forefront of the edible world. Thank you for joining the show today, proudly sponsored by Smokies Edibles. Wherever good conversations meet good munchies, as Smokies always says, have an incredible edible day.
Hey, it's your favorite comedian, Anthony Rogers. I actually eat these edibles. Smokies Edibles, link in the description. Try them out. Eat them. They're in whatever state you're in, they're probably there. Just check it out. Try them yourself if you don't already know about them.
Use the beard oil all the witches are talking about this Halloween. Luxurious Bastard Beard Co. Use promo code LEGENDARY for a discount. Link in description.
Welcome back to the greatest show ever.
Hi. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
There's no audio.
Shit. Hold on. I
can hear Nikki,
oh,
but
no.
Anthony, there's no audio.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
we
hear him.
got-
Hold on, let me send him a text message.
We can hear Nikki. We cannot hear Anthony.
I can't hear you. Shit. Just put it in the chat. Maybe he'll. And I texted him. Hold on. Maybe it was a ghost.
There you go. The only thing I heard was "Welcome to the greatest show ever," and then
Yeah.
and then it was silent.
He's asking if anyone has.
I feel like he's probably trying to fix it. Hold on. See. Does anyone have audio?
There we go.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh my God! Well, that was crazy. I was like bragging about you guys. Nobody could even hear me. I'm like, these guys are in such big bands. I'm like miming and stuff, man. Sorry. I'm like, these guys are going backwards in their career. I can't believe they're even on this show. And I'm like hyping you guys up and stuff. And they're like, no audio at all. I'm like, sorry about that. That was insane. If you're watching at home too, I apologize. Oh my God!
Okay,
Thank you
now I
all for
can hear
taking
you.
the time to be here. Awesome. You guys are all legends, and I appreciate you being here. That's why I said before you couldn't hear me. No, I appreciate it, man.
Aw. Fuck yeah.
But no, Ryan, you were telling me you actually had a ghost story. Like, you had a ghost story, like a real life one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a believer, but coincidentally, when you, I was on tour with Smile Empty Soul, and somehow we all
Is the audio working still?
Yeah, we were just on tour, Edema and Smile Empty Soul. We just did a short run together, and we're doing another run through the South in about 2 weeks.
Does anybody else have audio?
What's that?
Yeah,
I've got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't hear Ryan, I guess.
Oh no, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I
hear
can
Ryan loud and clear. Yeah.
I couldn't hear anything. What is going on? Oh, sorry, this is annoying. I can't even hear. It's weird.
It might be a ghost.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Crazy.
Hey, have you guys ever? I'm curious, Ryan, Cody. Have you guys ever played the Rave, the Eagles Club, the Rave in Milwaukee? Okay, that was the first thing that popped into my head with ghost stories. I was like, that is the freakiest fucking venue I've.
Is it like haunted?
Yeah.
It's
really.
It's
very haunted.
And like to add to it, like, isn't it right across the street from Jeffrey Dahmer's old apartment?
Oh my God! Well, then that makes fucking sense. Jesus.
That hotel that was the apartments, the Jeffrey Dahmer apartments.
Yeah.
I used to stay there. That's
God.
where we would stay.
I've stayed there too. Yeah.
That would be you're at. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Eagles ballroom. There's that pool down in the very bottom, the swimming pool.
That's
like
what I think about.
Like that one level of band would play, and then if you're not as big as that band, you play the next level up. And if you're a smaller, I don't know which direction you go, but that's a legendary place. And
it is.
What kind of stuff happened while you guys were there?
Well, we've played there a few times, and every time we go, there's been a few things, but one time we were playing a show. Buckethead was playing downstairs And then there's like a Tejano festival going on upstairs, which was really weird because after we got done, I went up there and I just saw like 3,000 white cowboy hats all dancing in a circle. And I was like, I have no idea what's happening right now. But at the time, you had to go down in the basement to shower. And I went down in the basement by myself, close to where the pool is, right? And
it's like how every scary movie starts. Like you're like vulnerable and naked.
It's insane. It's insane. But the pool's been shut down since like the 20s or something because a kid drowned in it and like it's all this crazy stuff. So I go down there and as I'm showering, all the lights went out in the middle of my shower. And I like grab a towel and like and I'm trying to find my way and I finally made my way out of the maze somehow and like got back to my stuff and it was not cool at all.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was it your band or staff trying to scare you?
No, nobody. I swear to God, nobody has any. Like I went to everybody, and the place is so big that like you really have to try to do that.
Yeah.
It's not like you know where people are.
Yeah,
so I was like, who? Nobody was even down there. I was the only person downstairs. It was so bizarre.
Yep.
I'll never forget that.
I mean, most of my bands would try to scare me, but Orgy especially would absolutely put effort and manpower into finding where I would shower in a haunted place. The living shit out of me. They would be like, "This is our chance. Ryan does more fucked up shit to anyone in the entire world in this band, and we've gotta fuck him over bad." And that would be I would be terrified. Yeah, that would be
yeah, that's funny.
The
pool. I was just gonna say, going into the pool though, like if you walk down in it and stand in it, like we've gone down there and taken pictures and stuff, like it just doesn't, cool. It doesn't feel right, man. It's crazy. It's spooky.
Is the venue still? Is that place? Can you still play there? Because I know they tore down the Dahmer Hotel, Dahmer Apartments, or whatever they were. It was like apartments, but then it became a hotel, and it's like it was like the big thing. Oh, that's where we stay, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And then
the hotel that he put the dude in the suitcase and drug him out the front door.
Oh God,
that's the one that's right across the street.
Yeah,
and it's there. It's still there. Yeah, they just closed down the room. Like you can't get in his room.
So there's been like multiple like deaths or like weird murders and shit like in that same place.
Man. Milwaukee.
So fucking crazy.
Well, all they have out there is fucking cheese. Like, no wonder they're fucking homicidal. They're just like, fuck this shit. Fucking tired of these fucking cows and shit, bro. There's nothing going on out here. Like
Packers fans, what are you gonna
do? That's funny.
Do you think that maybe like when there's been like a murder somewhere that like there's like residual energy that's just so negative that like that's why like it like multiple times, because I'll hear of like certain places and it's like 10 murders or like just a weird amount and you're like, why is it always this place? Like that's weird.
I don't know. I then why then you'd think like Auschwitz and like places like that would be the most haunted places ever and so focused with evil energy. I just so much, it just seems like, oh, if it's like a spooky place, but murders happen, it's like, oh, then there's like some energy. But you look at these places where mass atrocities have happened and all this kind of stuff, and there's not, I don't know, are there reporting?
Is there no
mass hauntings there? I mean, I don't know. That seems like that would be the of evil, right? But
for sure, you would think there would for sure be something. I don't know, especially with just the massive amount of people who died.
Yeah. You think like that's a highly focused, vortex of evil. It's fucked up. But
I don't think psych wards are kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like abandoned psych wards. I was watching this one and like some ghost hunter some like young kid who was like a ghost hunter or whatever went there by himself and like mysteriously died. And then like some other guy went there and he caught a couple anomalies on camera, but it was just like so many horrendous things had happened there. So many people had died there that it was just like they like shut it down and it was like boarded. Like they didn't even want people to go in it. Like it's like boarded shut. They're like, yeah, no.
Look who's here.
Yay, he's back.
Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, so it was a better show without me here. I feel like it was better. I think. I think the only thing wrong with Anthony Rogers was Anthony Rogers. Man. That was the only thing wrong with it.
I was just gonna sit and watch. Like, fucking.
It's not a business until you can walk away and it still works.
That's
You're gonna get your
very
money to work
true.
for you, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Yes, that's hilarious.
It's a good test. I think that you're in the money now. This
Do you
shit
all
just-
believe in ghosts? Like,
it's
do you
a
all
fire-
think ghosts are real stuff?
What's that?
Do
we
we
haven't heard
believe in
anything
ghosts?
from Cody.
Yeah, do you guys all
Cody,
believe in ghosts?
how do you feel about ghosts?
Right across.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I know too many people that have seen too many things on a regular basis for there not to be, something to it.
Right.
Like what it is, I don't really know, but I definitely think there are too many things that are like unexplained to just write it off. That's how.
I agree, for sure.
I do. I do for sure. I've had a couple weird experiences of my own, and one really weird, really freaky thing that I'll never forget.
Tell us, please.
I sound like I sound like an absolute crazy person, but it's still so. Like when you have a memory when you're a kid, like I don't remember what I did yesterday. You know what I mean? But I have, like certain memories from when I was a kid.
Like I don't even know what fucking day it is. Like
yeah, I don't know. What is it? Wednesday or something? I don't know. But
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, long term effect for sure.
Damn it.
So when I was we had two houses that I have 6 sisters and a brother, right? First of all, which is scary in itself. And then and I'm the baby, I'm the youngest. And so we had 2 houses that all of my siblings swear were both haunted. Like absolutely swear up and down they were. And so the first one I was a baby in, and my brother, who's a little older than me, had some crazy experiences in that house. I don't remember things from the house, but the second house I remember a lot of, and it was this very old Victorian style, turn of the century house,
It's probably old, huh?
It was very old. It's over 100 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is in Michigan, like right on the border of Michigan and Ohio. I went upstairs to get something from the kitchen. And when I went, I looked in my brother's room and I saw a lady laying. I sound so crazy. I saw a lady laying on my brother's bed. And she sat up and looked at me, and I went to get cereal is what it was. I dropped the cereal, went everywhere. I ran downstairs, told my brother, they went upstairs. They're like, there's nothing. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
They just thought I saw something. But the thing is, like, I so vividly remember it so clearly that I'm like, I don't like, that's not something that could just pop in my head and maybe I saw something a little funky, like I know for a fact that I saw it. I know.
Did it look like a ghost, or did it look like an actual like third dimensional person like there?
It's kind of hard to explain. So my brother's room was dark, right? And there's there's like a pantry-way that goes into the room, and the pantry-way was lit up, but his room was dark. So she was almost she was almost kind of not glowing, but like very like it was very white.
Like a hologram kind of?
Yeah, almost. And she was white.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Everything she had on was like white. And so she really, that's why I noticed, because out of the corner of my eye, the room was dark. I wouldn't have even looked in there, but I like looked over, dropped my Lucky Charms or whatever the fuck it was, and just booked, because I was like, there's a lady. Why is there a lady in my brother's room? What's happening? Yeah. So I guess based on that, and then like I agree with Cody, I know too many people that have had experiences, to not believe, but I also love horror. It's my favorite thing in the world. Halloween's like my favorite holiday, and so maybe I just want there to be, maybe I want everything to be scary. I'm one of those people that wants the apocalypse. I watch The Walking Dead and I'm like, this would be so awesome. Like, please let it happen. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Seems like you might be getting your wish, man, with the world today, man. Seems like it might be happening for you.
No shit, man. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like we're all gonna be ghosts in 2 months. So
So did I hear Ryan say earlier that he does not believe in ghosts? Is that what I heard earlier?
I'm a non-believer, but I have an interesting conflicts of events when kind of ran into
kind of contradict the.
Yeah, I have a video that I can share with you guys of my nanny cam and my new baby and a voice saying something.
Oh,
fine. And my life partner, my woman who is not my wife and is my baby mama, was in bed. I was on tour, and just right around the time that I was texting with Anthony and Sean was telling me you're a cool guy, all this kind of stuff, and then this ghost thing happens, and literally like the day before this all happened. So I was like, okay, fuck, I'm gonna share it with these guys.
Whoa!
You guys can tell me what you think and what you think this.
What the fuck? That's wild.
So here's the backstory. My Caitlin is definitely, on a level where she kind of has experiences and stuff, and her family has kind of had experiences with ghosts and otherworldly types of like shit that I don't really know where to put it, back in Utah where they're from. And there's we suspect, or we're pretty sure, that the lady that owned my house 2 owners ago died here, her name's Thelma. And there's been a lot of shit, like a lot of like being touched and like voices in the room, and me saying
does it sound like whispering?
No, this is full on like talking.
It's like full on. Oh shit.
And there's some shit like she'll wake up and she'll be like, what did you just touch me? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you fucking with me? Because again, that would be like me, because I'm like, so I'm always saying like, you're out of your mind, like that. I don't even.
Maybe the ghost knows that and is doing that just to fuck with you, like.
And then she caught it on film. So now I'm kind of going like, that is weird, because I've listened to it and watched it, and I've been thinking to myself, this is really weird. I can't really explain it. I do have a theory though, what this shit is, at least the audio, what this is, a concept of what it is. And I think there's some truth to it. It doesn't explain everything, but if you
what's the theory?
I'll tell you. Well, here's what I think. I think that just like vinyl, I believe that old structures, depending on the complexity and the materials they're made out of, I think that they can capture audio. And I watched a science show where there was an old like 200-year-old hall, or like the Declaration of Independence era hall in America back in the Philly area or whatever. And they hear voices and stuff, and they can record them. There's voices that basically what they finally figured out, that basically it's the structure recorded the voices, and they play back. It sounds disembodied. Like, it's the nature of audio. It's the nature of sound, that it's
so
not
like the sound is encoded in the structure of the home. Is that what you're saying?
I'm getting chills on my arm. You hear voices, literally like the talking that's in the room, randomly happening. And I think that could explain some of these, like, you turn on these recordings and you can hear voices and stuff like that. She heard this in the room too. And you'll see on the video, she turns the light on and she goes, nope. So she's like totally scared. And
not today, Satan.
He was like, Ryan, like, this is not, she's like, I'm telling you right now, I fucking recorded it. So you can't keep telling me that these things aren't happening. And this was like, our baby is in here, and what the fuck? I don't want this thing coming after our baby. And I'm like,
oh my god,
the old lady.
It's kind of scary. So wait, question: do you, how what would trigger the house to make noise? Like would it have to be someone walking to creak a certain piece of wood, or like what would trigger the house to actually make the noise?
We have science that can measure the cadence, or what how often it happens, or what triggers it. And I don't know that anything does trigger it. It could be temperature. It could be change. House. Like I have not in this room, because this studio is a floating room within a room to contain the bass waves, right? But the rest of the house is a mid-century from the 1950s. It's post and beam construction, and the roof is all wood. You can see the grain and all that kind of stuff. There's lots of texture in it, and and I don't know. Like I said, I did see that show where they kind of broke that down. It was like an hour show about this. Yeah. It's really, really cool. And I looked for it to share it with you guys, but I couldn't find it because it definitely stuck with me. But
do you think that, like, if a house can record noise, it maybe could even record in a sense the energy of somebody.
Trauma or horrible stuff or
yeah.
In fact, our new record is called Trauma Echoes, based on
trippy. Okay,
based on the concept of trauma leaves like an echo.
And it leaves like an energetic signature almost.
Yeah. So I'm
like absorbed into the house.
I'm into all of it as an artist, but I don't know if I'm into it scientifically or if I'm a believer.
Well, what about you said you felt someone touching you?
Not me. She does.
Oh, she did. Oh,
yeah. And when her mom's here too, they feel some stuff. But sometimes when you're together with people who believe, you amplify the belief, and sometimes you but neither one of them are crazy. They're both smart.
Right.
So it's I make it more fun of it than I should.
I've personally experienced that one. I felt like sometimes I won't even know that like someone's like family member died, or like that they'll have a bunch of their stuff at the house, and like I won't make the connection, but then sometimes I'll hear someone's name. Like I'll hear a name, or I'll feel someone touch me, and I'll be like, does this name mean anything? Or like, I don't know. And they're like, oh yeah, that's so weird. Why'd you say it? Where'd you hear that? Like, and they'll be like, yeah, all the shit in the house belonged to that person. I'm like, okay, well, that's really weird. Like,
I would definitely say may not be a believer. I definitely think that there are things that our science can't explain. And I definitely believe there are many, many concepts that are beyond our understanding that are happening naturally.
Oh, for sure.
Part of the nature that we haven't defined yet. So
I don't think we can I think it's higher dimensional than what we are even capable of perceiving. Like even if it was like some higher dimensional fucking alien or fucking whatever drew it out on a piece of paper and was like, this is what it is, it would just be like total nonsense. Like we wouldn't even really be able to grasp what the fuck.
I mean, the concept of a big bang and everything coming from nothing is just as preposterous and insane concept of ghosts, God, all this kind of stuff. So you kind of have to believe something, like something is beyond our understanding.
Right.
So I definitely wouldn't say that it's not possible or anything. I just haven't had, other than this video that I'm going to play for you guys.
Oh yeah, let's see that.
Anything. So
let's see that shit.
Okay, so
that's a damn good point you just made, Ryan. That's a really good point.
It's true.
A God, that's preposterous. Well, okay,
right.
It's just as preposterous that everything blew from a fucking hyper compressed fucking particle. This entire universe has sprung forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what triggered it? That's what's so weird. So then what triggered nothing to become everything?
Yeah. So there's
like
something.
We're missing a couple steps here. There's got to be like.
Yes. And again, that could be with ghosts and all this kind of stuff. There are things that we don't understand, and the concept, the absurdity of creation, of reality.
Yeah.
Something had to. There's a lot of interesting things going on. But anyways, I'll get way off track because it's all really fun. Okay, so let me. I don't use StreamYard, but I will do my best to do it now. How do I choose which? Oh, a window. Okay, I see. All right. Entire.
I'm like, I wouldn't know. I have never tried.
So what I'm trying to figure out is entire screen. It's not letting me select the. You know what? Maybe I can put that on here. Okay.
I'm hearing something.
Can you guys?
I'm hearing some noise.
Can you guys see this? My little baby.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Can you guys see my little baby there?
It's I think it's loading.
Yeah.
It's loading.
I see a cartoon figure of Anthony.
Your baby has a really nice beard.
Yeah.
Nice beard.
You can't see my little baby on the other side of the screen?
No.
Okay, let's try this again then.
You're like my little baby.
I know.
No one cares about my little fucking baby.
She's so fucking cute.
Aw. How old is your baby?
She's 6 months.
Oh wow!
Oh my gosh, brand new. So she really is a little baby.
She's hot off the press. Straight out of the oven. You know, it's weird. It's not giving me the option to
It's the ghost.
Share my
the ghost is preying on our downfall.
I'm trying to figure out how. Let's see. Gosh, this fucking StreamYard. I'm trying to think of another way to
show us.
Yeah.
If you have it on a link, you throw it to me in chat, and I can pull it up easier, probably.
I don't. I had it up and ready in a window on my computer. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you what it looks like.
And I would need control to play it so I can show you guys. Darn it.
You should just act it out in a play.
I have a really bad idea, but I'll do it.
What if you are you streaming from your
another
computer or
device?
your phone right now?
My computer.
Okay.
All right. So
Maybe you could pull it up on your phone and show us.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
Cool.
Okay. So that's my little baby.
Aw.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats. It flipped again.
That's awesome.
She is amazing. So
There
that's
you go.
that's the camera that's over her. That's what when I'm up there, I sit there and watch her sleep. She's so amazing. So let me play this around 08 seconds. She farts. It's really cute. She just goes. And so we were like worried that if we play this and when she gets older, if she goes back and hears this, she's gonna be so
I'd be like, oh my god, you're so embarrassing, Dad. What the fuck?
Mortified.
So at 17 seconds, you'll hear some sort of voice go, bless you, go, bless you. And then Caitlin kind of reaches for her headphones or whatever, and it goes for a little bit. And then it switches, the light turns on. She goes, nope. Because I think she was like looking around and kind of going like, what in the fuck just happened? And then she figured out that maybe she got it on camera.
Wait, so was she in the room when she heard it?
Yeah, so that's Caitlin reaching over to check on Pop.
Oh, got it.
All right, so she's laying. So when you have a newborn, right, like one parent is sleeping next to the baby the whole time. That's why that's how they ruin your fucking life. So you go to sleep, you're literally it's like doing crystal meth for right?
Just no sleep,
With
except
no
you don't get high.
with no meth and no fun. So
I've done it 3 times, man. I've been through it 3 times.
God.
What? Have a kid or crystal meth?
Both.
Or both. I mean, I don't.
Both.
You know, we probably all done crystal meth at least once, right?
Here we go. 8 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, did you hear it? Okay, hold on.
We're
gonna do it again.
No.
Very quiet, so hold on. Darn it. Okay, let me see if I can. Gosh, this not having the computer thing is really. Let me turn the AC in here too. So there's no...
Yeah, put it on a speaker. There you go.
Yeah,
God, that's chilling, dude.
It's on a speaker. Crazy. But I had it all. I had it prepared really well. Can't see.
Do you see? Can you see if there's any orbs or any like?
You'll have to be.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to hear it. No, we looked for all that too, and there isn't.
Yeah.
There's the fart.
Okay.
Ah, that was it.
Couldn't hear it.
Yeah,
I've got headphones in, and I'm definitely hearing something. I couldn't make out what it was.
I couldn't make out what it is, but it sounds like a.
Let me see where.
Definitely sounds like a something.
If
like
it is,
something.
What do you think it was?
That's a very polite response to a fart. You know what I mean?
So wait, it was like
a nice
so
ghost.
that's even weirder. If you're saying you think it could be just the house making the noise, but then how coincidental is it that it happens like moments after?
Oh, it's weird.
Like
what the part? It was the checking on the baby and everything. But hold on, let me see if because what I'm trying to figure out is my because this streamer took over my streaming setup and kind of messed with it. So I'm not sure if it's using the camera mic or the computer mic. So let's try.
Oh, okay, because one's probably better than the other.
So I'm going to put it close to the computer, so be really quiet.
Okay.
Let's go back to 17. Oh, there it is. Hear that?
Yeah, I heard it that time.
Hear it? Okay. Hear it?
I hear that loud and clear.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
what do you think that is?
What?
17. Back to 17. Hear it? Yeah.
That's.
It sounds like "bless you" or something.
It sounds like "bless you." Yeah, bless you.
And then you see right around here, light comes on
by itself.
No, Caitlin turns it on and she goes, "Nope."
Like after that,
He heard it in the room. So
Nope.
He heard that in the room.
Oh,
yeah. So she heard it and she didn't know until the next day. She's like, okay, like she told me that, I think that night or something. She's like, Ryan, it's weird shit's happening. I'm like, okay, it's really late here on the East Coast. I'm on tour and I'm super tired. Goodbye. And then the next morning she sent me that and was like, okay, dude, like this was in the room with your daughter. And so I was like, I actually can hear that and I can rewind it. And it says, "Bless you" or something like that. And it's a little like woman's voice in it. And it's weird. So there you go. So I don't know. So she's like, well, what's that, smart guy?
Wow. I mean, the fact that it's
That's
you
crazy.
know, your kid too, like that makes it even more freaky. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, that's my kid's right there, my little kid. That's super freaky. Yeah, I heard it for sure.
Man, the fart was just was world class. I mean, she lifts her legs, she lifts her legs straight up. And she goes, and then just puts them down. I wish we could share the screen because you guys can see it all in HD. It's so good. You could hear the audio better too. But yeah, it's so funny. She does a little too, which little kids do all the time. And then this little "bless you," and then a couple minutes later, the light goes on, and Caitlin's like, "Nope." So the reaction and everything was pretty funny. She heard that voice in there. I heard it there.
Wow.
So I don't know what to say about that. And it definitely confirms the fact that Caitlin has been hearing weird shit in our house. Weird shit. And I don't know. Maybe I don't have the sixth sense.
I think sometimes when you're closed off to the idea of it even being in your reality, you kind of block off a little, like
energy.
You'll block it off from being like, I don't know, because I feel like people. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's why the theory that little kids or like young kids that don't have these like I guess ideals and all these philosophies about life already that are very open-minded are more susceptible, which is actually my older brother. That's exactly what happened with my older brother. He was a toddler and he was having full-on conversations with a guy that had died in that house, and he knew his name. He knew his name, and we found out that Frank Kane was his name. And my brother was like 3 at the time, and he was like, my friend Frank. It's like
that shit. You can't make that shit up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that makes sense.
We're open to it now.
Yeah.
Now we have video evidence of something.
The ghost is like, "You don't believe in me, bitch? Well, think again." Like,
you have a polite ass ghost in your house, though, man. Blessing people.
Yeah, apparently she's very nice, but she's my girlfriend every now and then, which is weird.
Damn.
I want to ask my neighbor. He's a much older dude, and I just feel I don't know why I never asked him, maybe because whenever I have a conversation with him, it lasts like 45 minutes. He's just one of
Oh
those.
no, one of those you can't escape the conversation. Like, okay, I gotta, and they're like, but Ben, my grandson.
Yeah. And I'm the neighbor, and I'm the neighbor that comes out like every time I come out, I'm on an important phone call in my fucking earpod. I literally am, and I'm fucking having an intense thing, and someone tries to talk to me, and I'm like, oh, cool. Fuck, I can't do this right now. I'm a terrible fucking neighbor. And so you go ask him, like, okay, you tell me, you've been here for 117 years. You tell me what happened to that lady. Dude bought his house for 36 grand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm all, oh, cool. So you have $2 million now. That's amazing. Awesome.
Wow, that's insane.
Let's fix this fence over here.
I feel like we doing what we do, though, we kind of make the best and the worst neighbors because we're gone all the time. But then when we are home, it's like you said, it's like super intense, like who is this person that living next to me?
What are all these weird giant vehicles pulling up in the street?
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. I had when I moved in here, I had these the younger kids, the high school kids next door were fans of the band. And I had no idea what that would end up meaning because I'd just been able to like afford a house and shit. And I moved in and everything. And what it means is there's high school kids looking over the fence like all fucking day long.
Oh my god.
And shit. And at the time I was fucking raging here. I was I'm sober now, but I sure as fuck wasn't then.
Right.
Yeah. I went into the.
That's really fucking unfair too, because if it was the other way and you were peeking over the fence at the high school kids, now
You're a weirdo.
You'd be in trouble.
Makes you a fucking weirdo.
Totally unfair and weird of me.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? How's high school?
How's high school?
You guys doing good in school?
You're like, you're doing good in school.
I was,
don't do drugs.
See, now you guys are doing this school. You guys want some drugs?
Yes.
Can you imagine like what these fucking kids saw in my house? Holy moly.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
Where was this at? Was this was it in LA or where were you?
I still live in the same house. I live in Long Beach, California.
Oh,
just LA. Yeah. I live in it's a cool, it's got a pool in the front. It's beach house, really, really awesome place.
Nice.
And when I moved in, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a party place. And I made it such a nice. It was
beach
everything,
towns, right?
everything I thought you were supposed to do. Now it's a family home.
Now it's a family home. There you go.
So time does that happen. Yeah, time does that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Partying just gets harder and harder because then you feel it so much more, and then you're like, this kind of sucks. Like, fuck. Start losing your memory and shit. Like earlier, it's like, what's my name again? How do I even spell my name? Fuck, bro.
I can't do it. The last hangover I had lasted 2 days.
Oh my god. Your body's just like, nah, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't hang at all.
There are very few people that can do it for 30 years and look and feel good and function at a badass level, no matter how many people tell you they can.
Kudos to them, because I could never.
There's not. I mean, look at all of our friends and shit like that. Look at the guys that are still pounding whiskey and shit like that. And I only do coke on the weekends. Like it doesn't work out super well. And so you do have to make that choice at some point. Like, do I want to be that guy or do I want to do something?
Right. The Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah.
I can never just do coke for 2 days though. It would just be like, I'd be like, okay, just 2 days, and then like 7 days later, I'm like, okay, just one more bag.
That's exactly it.
One more bag.
If you're gonna do it, you go all the
way.
Okay,
it's like so all or nothing for me. I can't. There's no like in between.
I know the feeling.
Our old guitarist used to say that he doesn't drink. He can't because he's allergic. He breaks out in handcuffs. And I
feel that.
I completely get that, man. 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
It was never, it was never like a casual, hey, let's meet up for a drink. Like that's never been the story of my life. I'm like, I'll see you in a week.
You go week bender later, you're like, fuck it. Blow off all of your fucking like prior engagements. Like my grandma died. I'm sorry, I can't make it. Like meanwhile, you're just doing like a line off a fucking hooker's ass. Like it's no big deal. Like
just another day.
Another day.
Cocaine is a Schedule II drug and is totally not fun at all. That's funny.
Oh God.
That is my least favorite for sure. It's like, but you do it, you know, if you're drunk enough, and then you
right. It's one of those drugs. It's like
you feel before. It's the weirdest thing, but you have to do it all until it's
like you don't even like how it feels. You're like the whole time you're just having anxiety, and you're like, like
it's such a bad fucking scene. Oh my God. I know some people it works on, but I mean, oh my God, I fucking hate it. So terrible.
Yeah, I feel that.
Do you feel like drugs are like a creative thing at one point, and then you like realize they just make you dumb? I think that's like the point. You know, it's like I eat like a lot of edibles and I smoke a lot of weed still, but I'm like boring outside of that. I couldn't. Like some of my friends are trying to party all the time. They're like, "Hey man, you just like ruin your life and spend all your fucking money on this." And like, no, you know, it's like, I'm just, I don't know. It's like a time and
like
place.
That was a great pitch, actually. Like,
yeah.
I just feel like it's such a waste of money. You know, I feel like I don't know. At this point in my life.
It is really like just flushing your money down the toilet.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy real estate instead of drugs, you know.
I've done enough drugs for like 4 or 5 lifetimes, you know? Like after that, you're like, okay, I think I'm good. Like,
except for the weed sponsors. Everybody should buy the weed sponsors in this episode. As I'm talking about not getting fucked up. Like,
it definitely depends on what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Like certain things I don't take issue with at all, but you know.
No, it's cool. I think a lot of people look up to you guys, and I think like people hearing you guys say that, like, yeah, it's fun, but also I have work to do. You know, I think like that's an important message, really. Yeah. It's not so black or white. It's like no, I got to show up to work tomorrow and like get rich and pay my bills. I can't just nonstop. And I think people need to hear that, and like a lot of people look up to you guys and stuff. I think that's an important message, really. I mean, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I agree with Ryan though. It's like when you're in your 20s and it's all new and you know, it's like one thing you can also sleep till sound check, you know what I mean, and then go in and do your thing and then do the show and then stay up all night but you just can't keep doing that. Well, I guess Keith Richards could keep doing that, but like nobody else can keep doing that.
They always, you know? I always see that brought up, but I really wonder, you know, what his real deal is. But yeah, you're right. There is always an outlier. There's always an outlier for sure. But I mean, in general, I mean, we all know, how many people do we know out there that we see on tour, or you go to a festival or whatever it is. It's like anyone that's our age doing it at the level that we're still doing it. Almost all of them, when I see them, they're all like pretty fit and they take it seriously. And I don't know how you get into your 40s and 50s doing what we do. As hard as, at least I know that I do it on stage. I do it 100% on stage every fucking night. And I'm competing with like younger bands that are 25-year-olds and stuff like that, who can just destroy, you know. So I literally, I don't care that I'm 25 years older than them or however many, 30 years older than them. I want to win, you know, I want to crush every night. It's just, you know, I think in the beginning, there's definitely, it was useful staying up all night, you know, because I maybe had a day job and then I could do drugs all night and work on music and stuff like that. I think there was definitely maybe a place for that, you know, sorry.
For sure.
But yeah, I think that, you really, it's really hard to tell when you get a diminishing return, you know, with that stuff, when it really isn't helping you anymore.
Because you'll think you're on point still. You'll think you'll like be better with it, or even smoking weed somewhere. I'll be like, oh man, I come up with so many more jokes and stuff when I'm stoned, but I just like I'm not as active. I feel like it definitely held me back a lot. And like networking too. I mean, when you're young, networking, a lot of people get intoxicated and stuff, and like you get in some, you come up with 37 business ideas in a night with somebody. Like you know, he's like,
I mean, you're all hooked up, and then none of them ever happen. Yeah. How many conversations you're like, this is the most brilliant fucking, like, we just came up with $1 million idea. Okay, cool. Tomorrow we'll fucking work. And then it just never, no one ever brings it up again. Nothing happens. Like, it's just like, Okay.
And in LA, we used to say that every important meeting was in the bathroom. And it was, if you're at a party up in Hollywood Hills or whatever, you're at like some, hotel with fucking Marilyn Manson or whatever, and the weird shit going on, and label people. It was back when labels kind of mattered and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, there was some truth to it. A lot of the important conversations were happening in the bathroom over lines being chopped up. It was a thing. It's such a normal thing. But yeah. Now, I mean, I have friends now that still party a little bit and everything. And my fear, I just don't understand it. Fentanyl wasn't an issue when I was doing this shit. I wouldn't do it now. I wouldn't put it in my body because it really doesn't matter where you get it. Everyone says they get it from someone they trust, and oh no, this guy's really cool. Oh yeah, okay. Well, where did that guy get it from?
The fentanyl dealer being really cool, like for sure.
Yeah, it's just like
it's in everything too.
Yeah,
it's like if you're not looking for it, you're gonna wind up taking it, and that's really scary to me as well. I was just talking to one of the guys in the band about that like a week ago. That's funny you say that, because I was like, man, it's not, we had so much fun back in the day, and like, it was like the golden era, and now it's like, man, we couldn't do that. If you just never know. You could just like decide after 15 years, I'm going to do one line, or I'm going to whatever. And you're dead. That's it. It's over.
Happens all those rappers are falling off at like 19 and stuff, man. There's like young kids with a budget and a bunch of people that think they're their friends. It's like, they're just dying on the tour bus and stuff. It's nuts. I mean, even Scott Weiland still. I mean, huge guys. I mean, couldn't beat that. It's like at one point it just stops being like a good time and starts just being sad, man. And it's like wasted so many geniuses, man. Like so many just geniuses have like just been wasted from that, man. It's like we all want that like reassuring feeling of like, oh no, we want that fuzzy feeling of like you get from like love and working out in real life. But I mean, you want that fast button, you're like, want that fast fuzzy button, I feel like, or something. A lot of people are running from shit, are running from stuff mostly, most people are running from stuff.
I've actually been sober off of fentanyl for about 2 years. And like I've lost so many friends.
Like people go out and buy fentanyl. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's sold as like a more like stronger opiate than heroin, pretty much. Kind of like once your tolerance is like hits a limit on heroin, people usually turn to fentanyl.
Wow.
I didn't know
it's cheaper and it's way stronger.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just a thing. Things are spiking. I didn't know it was like a goal. I didn't know it was like a goal for people. I'm old, so I was like, I'm almost like 40, so I'm like, I'm not trying to get messed up. I'm not like, I'm not vaping. I'm not like, I'm doing fentanyl.
Well, because it's
but
cheap,
it's crazy because so many people like they start off getting hooked from having injuries and being on pain medication. And then it's just, they get physically addicted to that. And then their pharmacist or their doctor cuts them off because their prescriptions run out. Now they're physically addicted. They're having physical withdrawals. And so they fucking do heroin. And it's just a progression, just like any other drug that you get addicted to, like heroin or, like alcohol or, whatever. It progresses,
Yeah. Boy, it really something to think about. Like, I mean, I'm like the oldest brand new dad possible, 50 years old, and I have a 6-month-old. I'm an instant grandfather, but I definitely think like, boy, how am I going to talk to my daughter about this? Because it's, you have a conversation and you have to like, it's a little different. It's like, look, this can kill you if you fucking touch it.
Yeah. Literally.
And then they Google you, and then like Google you and look through like all your bands and like your interviews and stuff, and they're just like, what?
Dude.
Because cops were dying from there was a cop that OD'd from just touching it.
Yeah, it's serious shit. Yeah.
Lots
of kids, like lots of my friends who like kids in their neighborhood and stuff like that. So it's definitely a thing. I don't know what parents are saying, but it's if my daughter saw all my old interviews and my behavior and everything, I mean, I'm probably just gonna have to tell her like, look, I was a literal pirate. I was a fucking professional pirate. I had lots of women, the whole deal, and I rode around the country and the world in a pirate ship and raided. And that's bad. Unfortunately, you can't really do that anymore. Like I would almost back it up. That's what you wanted to do, but you can't because they poisoned the drugs. Like not even, they took the drugs that can be fun and also ruin your life, and then they added poison.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what a fucking deal. What an awesome deal that is.
There's got to be a hard conversation. It's like, it bought me this house, but don't do it. It's just like it's got to be a tough conversation, But I think that's the benefit of like growing and becoming wise. I think we all just get like we're none of us are as dumb as we were at 19. I mean, I hope So I think that's the goal. Or 16 or whatever.
Thank God for that.
The goal is to grow and learn lessons and teach the next generation. So I mean, I definitely get that. But it's got to be crazy. I couldn't imagine being in your guys' situation, like telling your kids stuff. It's got to be crazy,
I think it's just important to be open and honest, though. Like, like my mom was always like, I felt like I could come to her and talk to her because she was like, listen, I know you're probably going to do drugs, and I'd rather you at least talk to me and ask me. Like, obviously I don't want you to do them. Like, if I find out, like, I'm fucking kicking your ass, but like, like at least come to me instead of feeling like I can't, and then I'm just like doing some dumb shit that like I don't even know what it is, or you know what I mean? Like at least being open and honest and having that conversation about like, okay, like you're gonna encounter this, like just know, like
just don't make it taboo. Don't make it so taboo. My daughter's 15, which is a crazy age, thinking back to, because there's so many times where I'm like, we need to talk, and then I'm like, oh God, I know what I was doing when I was, I know exactly what I was doing at the same time, so, but almost 16, yeah.
Almost 16,
Right. But I got off easy because we actually made a documentary, and it came out a few years ago, and it covers everything. So I'm like,
oh, no.
I didn't have to explain anything. I'm like, here, just watch this. I'm gonna go make a sandwich. Kind of convenient for sure.
Wow, everything sounds easy.
Yeah,
that's super cool. Yeah.
That's an angle a lot of people don't hear about too. Is like you always see the tragic stories of like rock stars with families. You don't hear like the good stories, like you guys are saying, like you're actually with your families. Like you know what I mean? It's like you don't hear that a lot, and that's cool too. I think a lot of people need to hear that. They're like, I mean, you could be a good dad and still like be in an awesome band. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be. Like I think that's important to people.
I actually think it helps. I agree. I didn't understand that before, but I'm starting to hear music differently. And even just watching her respond to certain songs, I'll put my iPad down and she'll be down there kind of playing on her pad. And I see the way that what gets her to react and what kind of melodies, catch her ear and what starts getting her moving and stuff. And I'm like, wow, there's some core level stuff going on, like melodically, like with her brain. And I don't think, like when I hear the melodies and stuff, I even play modern music or even like kids music and look for like the similarities. I just think she'll be really, really useful in helping me kind of create new music that I think younger people can relate to, as well as the people that follow her. Not like we're
so beautiful
kids, but I think that I didn't know this because I've been so selfish my whole life. I'm just a ridiculously selfish individual for so long, but now that I have her, I'm literally kind of going like, wow, I almost have like a new life. Like it's insane.
It's awesome.
And I'm lucky to be the age that I am and still be able to do jiu-jitsu and go on tour and play in multiple bands and do all this shit that I probably should be too old to do. So I'm still physically able to, and I don't feel like it's going away. So I'm hoping that, and a lot of my friends that have kids have told me that it really does do something to your brain and opens up a new path.
Like it changes the molecular.
Yeah.
Like
you can see Matt nod a couple times and I'm like, I think that's right. You know what I mean? There's something very cool about it. And I almost think that it would have been cool to have kids earlier, but I'm stoked that I had her now because I'm old and it's kind of giving me a whole new view on maybe, when she's 15, I'm not going to be able to understand 15-year-olds without her, and you make this music to speak to everyone. You want to try to connect with all sorts of different, age groups and ways of thinking. Maybe it's really ways of thinking. It's not really maybe the spirit that you capture in your music is this kind of cyclical thing, like, new metal and stuff like that is coming back, and the vibes and the feelings that were in that music are sort of coming back around again. But maybe it's not necessarily that it's new metal or whatever. Maybe it's just the feeling of that era. it's kind of
anything with guitars, like just guitars, please.
Yeah.
There's place for
actually
guitars for
playing. Yeah.
you know. Yeah,
I think Orgy was kind of ahead of it too. I mean, like now, like everybody's listening to EDM and stuff. I think Orgy was kind of on the ahead of that in America at least. I think Europe already had that kind of stuff, but I think like I think Orgy in particular was like that with I mean, just it was everyone's listening to like what I mean that would be considered that the style of music like better EDM music almost. It'd be almost considered that by today's kids, I think, and I think that was kind of like 10, 15, 20 years before. I mean, that's kind of cutting edge in my opinion, like before the curve, and I mean it made its own curve obviously too. But I think like that was like I think kids will find people will continue to like all your bands forever. Probably. I mean, you guys have classic hits. I mean, all three of you. I mean, so I mean, you're already you're in pop culture. You guys are in pop culture, and probably like your music will outlive anything else like you guys do. Unless I mean, there's other options, I guess. So you can do other things. But I'm saying like right now, your music's timeless and will probably live on, and that's magic, man. I think that's huge, and that's like an American culture and world history and like a lot of things. I think people are people. Your music's timeless. I think, I mean, it's in pop culture. All three of you guys, really, that's crazy.
For sure.
Cody and Matt, have you guys noticed more kids at your shows?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think part of it is some of those fans that were, I hate saying this, but they were teenagers when we first started, and now they're bringing their kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, but even besides that, we're starting to see like online. Some of the younger kids starting to appreciate the older songs, and I don't know why. I don't know why that's happening, but I mean, it's obviously super cool. So
I they're growing up with their parents playing it for them.
Yeah. Oh no, it is definitely exactly what Cody said.
Yeah.
But I've noticed it a lot. Like I literally made a thing out in the last tour, especially because I saw so many kids like on shoulders of parents and stuff like that. And maybe I notice it now because I have a little kid, so now I'm all fucking connected.
Right.
God, what losing your edge. And so I would do like a little thing in the show. I kind of did it every night. When you're on stage every night, you kind of come up with like a little bit of a thing because some of the same stuff keeps happening, and you want to create a repertoire with the audience and stuff. But I kept noticing these kids, and so I did a little thing, kind of thanking like all these fans who have been with us for so long for bringing this whole new generation to the shows. And I would do stuff with the kids that were in the front row. Like if they had a cell phone or something, I would take the phone and turn back around with them, and they would just do all this. I would look for those opportunities to include the kids in the show and stuff like that. And it was or go down and kind of make sure that you get their little high five going. And that was rad, because I know that right there, that might have been their first or second show ever. And that's the future for us. And
I could change someone's life too. Like, they could be really into music, and then that moment could be the reason they decide to be in a band and make music, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, that kind of stuff definitely had a huge impact on me. When anyone cool would give me the time of day, I mean, that just gave me such power. So, I mean, we're in a position where we can give them some love and support. And I think that's awesome.
I feel really lucky to have a 15-year-old daughter, in the sense too that like she introduces me to music now too. So I'm like, what is that? I love that. What is that? And then like today, I picked her up from school, and I'm not gonna lie, 5 years ago, if it was, hey, can I play music in the car? It's like, oh God, here we go again. Now I pick her up from school and she's playing Soundgarden. I'm like, what's happening, man? This is awesome. I love it. So, but yeah, and I agree with Cody 100%. It's a good blend of like, meet the kids that are like, oh yeah, my mom loves you, or my mom's been following you forever. But then there's also, I think that we make a really conscious effort to not make the same album over and over again. And I think that helps us a lot too, because Justin, our singer, he also has a daughter a little bit older than mine, and they are constantly making us try to keep us cool and honest. Oh, thank you.
I can't. That's going to be awesome. Thing that I write should pass her test, and how different is it from our parents are growing up that like your kids are playing you music and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Before, when I played heavy metal and stuff like that, like they were like, you can't listen to that. That's
the devil's music.
You're not down. I couldn't wear like a Misfits shirt to high school. I had to wear that shirt underneath the shirt that I had. It was like a whole trick because it was a moderately religious family and everything. And
yeah.
The music that I loved was definitely satanic, right?
Right.
In the Dark Vader, I was into the dark music. I was into the whole, Slayer and Metallica meets The Cure and Depeche Mode. There you have Orgy that I liked. And it wasn't flying, but now you're telling me like your daughter's playing music and you're like, what? You're getting ideas. That's such a difference than the way that probably most of us grew up. I don't, maybe you guys didn't, but my parents didn't identify with the music I was listening to and weren't interested if I brought something home that was cool. And and I think that if Poppy brings home stuff that's rad, that's fucking weird ass shit that they're making 15 years from now, I'm going to be pretty down to hear it. I'm going to be pretty excited because I would never discover that any other way. I think it's so cool.
I remember my dad shutting me down when I was playing Run MC one time, and he was like,
"Yes,
it's terrible. I don't want to hear that." And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's listen to old people. It's funny. I actually have a vivid memory too of my daughter and my ex. I tried to play Fishbone once and I got shut down so hard. And the whole time, instead of being like, it was, oh, that's old. You're old.
Oh my God. Me.
But hey, but now we're all good. Now we're all good.
That's funny. That's awesome. Did we lose Anthony again?
Maybe. Let me check. Oh, wait. Message. Anthony froze again, working on it. Oh. Okay, I have a question. What are some of your guys's, you guys can each take turns. What are some of your guys's like bands you listened to growing up that influenced you like to A, like make music, and then B, like your style of music, like just influenced your style?
For me, New Order, Depeche Mode, The Cure, and Metallica, Slayer, Death Angel, Death. Like I used to listen to thrash metal and heavy music and
love that.
And then I weirdly at the same time was listening to new wave and goth and stuff like that. Yeah. And that I mean, you couldn't have a better example of what created the sound of Orgy and and there was a time there with the heavy metal, when Jonathan Davis and I were in our first band together and we wrote Blind and things like that, where we were tuning our guitars way down, doing drugs all night and making all these fucking sounds that became popular. And that's where we kind of had, created this kind of concept of like tuning everything, way, way lower than even drop D and all that kind of stuff. But that's how you got the sound of like, say, Orgy, Korn, and even the later stuff that I've done and everything. So it's those bands and tuning down, trying to be able to hit the notes on the keyboard that were lower, and
interesting. Okay.
And everything dark,
Yeah, I love that. I love all that music. Okay.
Cody, you want to go?
Oh, sure. Yeah. For me, I was kind of all over the place growing up. I was really into, like, my parents would only listen to like 90s country. And then I got into like Jimi Hendrix and Buddy Holly, and then got into Bad Company. And then I got into, I was really into gangster rap for a while.
Yes, I love that.
And then,
like 90s?
Yeah. So like Ice Cube, that era.
Okay. Yeah.
And, got into Metallica, Pantera, the same as everybody else who was in rock,
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I pretty much, whenever I write it and produce, try to just draw from all of those, I mean, I think it's cool to be able to do, especially now, you know what I mean? All the genres are crossing so much now that it's cool to hear, a country song with a heavy drop D riff, and then maybe some guy comes in and throws on a rap verse, cool. So
we all fucking rap in our music now, even if it's not like a rip-off type of, but we all do kind of staccato-y, verses kind of like this sometimes. And then
it is.
We all fucking do it. All of us like gangster rap for a minute, or still do, or really funny.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, we have a track that we're putting on, or that's going on our record, and I actually did a rap part in the second verse, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm too busy to put it on there, so we're gonna take it off and read it.
Oh.
And reading the studio is so much fun.
It's kind of the same thing for me. I was really all over the place when I was younger, but I do joke. So being a bass player, I half jokingly always say that there's really two types of bass players. There's the worst guitar player in the band that had to play bass, and then there's the bass players that play because they love playing bass. And I like to think that I fall in that second category. I had two uncles that both played, and they were both phenomenal, badass bass players. So I was always kind of drawn to Motown and a lot of like, the James Jamerson, Larry Graham, Sly and the Family Stone. I love like old, very, very bass centric music. And then that led me to like Eric Avery with Jane's Addiction and Norwood from Fishbone, so, and then of course, Geddy Lee, Les Claypool, all like lead bass players, of course, but I think as far as like shaping, like as far as being a writer or a songwriter, and then especially in the band that I'm in full time, The Cure is definitely up there. Peter Gabriel is a massive influence.
I love Peter Gabriel.
Sinead O'Connor, U2.
Love it.
Oh God, Depeche Mode, New Order, Joy Division, and fortunately, that's a sound that I think a lot of people now are really starting to embrace again, and I'm so happy to see that happen. Even band, honestly, like I'll admit I'm a sucker for like Erasure and Level 42, and you know what I mean. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that's like terrible pop." Like it's really not, man. They're actually great musicians and phenomenal hooks, and so yeah. I love it all, man. And
awesome.
And I love finding a way to throw bass in there to make, because we used to be a really sad, depressing ass band, and I would find it a challenge. Like, how am I going to make this like danceable, sad, depressing music? So that's always fun. Yeah,
I love that.
Welcome back, Anthony.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, no, it's like
the fucking ghost, bro.
No, it's insane, man. I can get huge rock stars and a porn star co-host, but I can't get a Wi-Fi connection, man. It's like the most. I'm being pranked constantly, bro. It's like I feel like just like the universe pranking me constantly. It's just.
I can definitely relate to that. I'm like, sometimes I feel like fucking God, what's his name? Larry David from Curb. In Curb, just like everything's just like, what the fuck? Like
yeah,
everything's froze, and then I knocked over a sponsored bong, and I'm just like, what is going on right now? It's like, it's just like no matter how awesome life is, there's like these things testing you. It's crazy, and like I appreciate you guys being as chill with how unprofessional this show's been so far. I appreciate you guys being like human beings and like, cool about it, rather than like
all good, man.
That's crazy though, man. So that's awesome, man. So you have an actual ghost video. Does anybody else have any like experience? I guess to get back to the actual topic of like a lot of people say it's like demons, ghosts, like other lives and stuff. Like it's kind of like an interesting thing. Like I don't know, like have you guys had any experience with like demons or anything like that? Being in his field,
I've always thought of as a ghost or some kind of a spiritual entity is, I guess, somebody that's trapped somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, like kind of getting back to what I was saying earlier, I don't know how to not sound like an idiot saying this, trying to put it into words, but I've always thought, at least the stories or the experiences that I've heard about or read about that seem, I don't know, for some reason, just more believable or more consistent, maybe from story to story, always kind of have that theme where there's a spirit that was trapped because something happened. Maybe there was something traumatic, and they can't leave that plane or whatever it is for whatever reason. But it's like demons and stuff. The Exorcist is actually my all-time favorite horror movie. But I've never ever had any kind of like experience with demon or anything like that.
That was based here in St. Louis, like the Exorcist thing. That's about 30 minutes from where I'm at right now where that happens. Crazy. That was a crazy story too.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
What about you guys? You guys have any like demon experiences being in bands and stuff, or any kind of like things like that?
I wouldn't say like any kind of a demon. There was one time when my wife and I she owned this little house in Oklahoma City, and we were staying over there one night, and we were watching TV, and we get up, we turn the TV off, we go to bed, you know, we're just laying there trying to fall asleep, and then all of a sudden, like, we hear this, like, plain as day, this really low voice that goes, it sounded like it said, "Hey guys." And so like, like just wraps me up, right? And she's like, "Oh my God." Like, she's like, "Hold me." And I'm trying to get out of the bed, right? Like trying to get out of her arms. And she has these two like removable bedposts at the end of the bed. And I grab one, and I'm running out in the living room, mass, right? Or try. And so as soon as I get in there, I swear to God, the TV that I specifically remember turning off pops on, like out of nowhere, just pops on. And I'm like, I'm a huge pussy. Like, I don't like anything scary. Like, I don't watch scary movies.
I love it.
I dropped that thing, and I told her, I was like, "All right, get your shit. We're staying at my parents' house." So we go out and we stay the night at my parents' house, which is like 30 minutes away. And I don't think I went back to that house for like at least a month or two.
Oh shit!
Scared the shit out of me. I mean, I'm sure there's a logical explanation, you know. I know Ryan's probably over there, this fucking idiot.
No, I was like,
bro, that's terrifying.
That's probably a demon, bro. He just wants to watch your TV, and you know, he wants to watch. He's like, "You got any good shows? Like, what apps you got, bro? You gotta get your login, you know."
I'm thinking what you were thinking. Nope. Me and my non-believing ass, I'd be like, "Okay, you know, out of here." It's either Alexa has gone crazy and the automation is off, or there's a fucking demon or ghost or something.
Oh my God!
I like how you have video evidence and you still don't believe it. You're like, "No, here's a video of a ghost in my house being like, oh hey," and like, but I don't know if it's real, you know.
Well, I would just say that I was classically or typically, traditionally, I don't believe really, but I you know, like I said, I'm really open to it, you know, especially after hearing that. I'm definitely open to something. I'm definitely open to it. You know,
I've seen like lights or something, like a white, like it just seemed like an angel or something. Like it was weird because like my mom's really sick and I've been helping her a bunch, and like I saw it in her house at one point, like just like white when I was just being like angry on the internet, making fun of something, being a child, you know. I'm like, "Oh, you're just making fun of somebody through pain, I guess." It like looked at me and saw through me and was just like, "You're a child in pain." And I'm like, "Damn, that's true," you know. I was like, "Damn, I'm not as cool and edgy as I thought I was. I'm just," you know, it's like it was a weird experience.
Just like roasted you. Like,
yeah, no, it just kind of like let me know that it was maybe more self-aware than delusional, you know, to where I'm just like full of like hate or something in my heart versus like just being like admitting something and working through it.
Wow.
I think you have the light of truth. It's great. You have the light of truth in your house.
I try, man. I try to serve God, you know, but I don't know. Try to do the best.
Did it look like a person?
I'm sorry?
Did it look like a person?
It kind of was a white silhouette of like a person's size, but it was more of a light. It just felt like it's like it felt like it just saw through me without words. Like it just like kind of like saw through me, and I feel like that's what good is, you know, good, just like raw truth and love kind of.
Interesting. Maybe it was an angel. Could have been an angel.
Could have been. I mean, definitely. I mean, a lot of crazy stuff's been happening, and she was diagnosed with a disease that was going to kill her, and now she's like healing. So I mean, it's just like a lot of bizarre stuff that happened with that. And I played this I don't know how familiar you guys are with country gospel or not, because like, but I feel like most people probably aren't. But I played an Alan Jackson song, like "What a Friend We Have in Jesus," when she was like unresponsive in a hospital. And this guy came in right after and prayed for her. And it was like the first time he believed in prayer. Like you could tell he's just routinely doing it. Like, "Yeah, I'm going to pray for this dying person. You know, hey, let's pray for him." Yeah. And then like they did it. And then they looked back and they go, "God bless you." They go, "God bless you." And they look back like they believed it for the first time in their day or week or month or something. And then like 3 days later, she like basically was unresponsive to responding. And then now it's like she basically is healing from what they thought was ALS, which you don't ever heal from. It's like this. There's
Wow.
been a lot of weird angelic and like the positive around that I've seen. You know. And
Yeah.
it's been really bizarre and make me more of a believer because I'm a very skeptical person. I mean, I listen to all you guys' music. You know, I'm like skeptical. I grew up skeptical and like, you know, kind of like that as well. And I feel like seeing it's crazy and it's just like I don't know, even like Matt saying, you can't say this and sound normal. You know, I mean, you just sound crazy. Like, no matter what you're talking about, but I do feel
Right. People are like, oh, okay.
Thanks, brother. Smells good. Have a good night. You too, bro. Thank you.
I'm just gonna use what Ryan said the next time though. If I'm telling a story, but like you nuts, I'm gonna be like, okay, just think about this: the Big Bang, and then nobody can argue with that. Seriously, as soon as he said that, I was like, God damn, he's right. Like anything's possible, man. Anything is possible.
Ludicrous? Isn't it fucking ludicrous? The whole concept.
It's hilarious, honestly.
Even
they
the
teach this shit in school. Like, don't tell me ghosts can't exist.
The arrogance of it's funny too, when like somebody uses that like an argument to where there's not a god. They're like, yeah, no, it's a bang, dude. I mean, it's just like, it's like from my perspective, it's like at least have a good argument. You know, I'm always open to learn and stuff. And that's just kind of like, it's like, no, it was a bang, dude. And I'm like, it could have been, and I'm a chimp or something. I mean, it could have been. You know, it's like, but it's just like I think there's just so much going on. We have no idea. And like this is a book you guys might like. It's called The Journey of Souls. It's like this PhD. Dude, you read that book?
Oh my God, I love that book.
Dude, it's nuts because like it talks about how this has been like a multi-life thing. Like our soul's been here multiple times, and it remembers like the study was basically a PhD was hypnotizing people, and they were everyone
in their past lives, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen some of those videos. I've started to remember some of my past lives, like in the last since I got sober. Actually, I started to remember.
I think that's
like visions of past lives.
I think people have been here before. I almost remember before I was born and like picking this life, even, which is weird. Like, you know, and like in my soul form, you know, like, which is crazy to say, but I believe that. I saw that. I picked this kind of.
Yeah. Did you read the book that came after that one?
I haven't. What was that one?
I can't remember what it's called now. I've got it sitting around here somewhere, but it's instead of like them doing like past life regressions, they do life between lives. And
ooh,
this huge case. And you know, it talks a little bit more about, I guess, like the spirit realm or however he words it. I can't remember now. It's been so long since I've read them, but yeah, dude, I mean, both of those books are incredible.
I'm gonna look into that second one. I haven't read I've read the first one. I listen to audiobooks. I'm you know, I didn't actually read it. But
what was the name of the book?
Journey of Souls. What was the second one?
Journey
of Souls.
Can't remember what the other one was. What it was called now.
I'll look at it. It's probably the same author. I'll look up.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's an interesting story too. They all remember like past lives. They all remember dying. They all described it the same. Like basically, like they see their body, and then like it goes to the next thing, and like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I kind of believe that. I feel like this is a weird like soul test / soul prison. You know, it kind of feels like that.
It's for sure some kind of like divine matrix or something made out of math or sacred geometry and shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a really convincing code, you know?
Like, yeah.
On the complete other side of that, there's an author named Stephen Meyer who has written some pretty interesting stuff. I think one of the books is called Darwin's Doubt. And he's a scientist, and he is now, it's written from a Christian perspective, but was written by someone that wasn't a Christian. And by following he kind of that's probably where I heard, or someone said or brought the concept of like, well, the Big Bang is a preposterous concept. If you think that God is a preposterous concept, the thought that like all of this has popped out of nowhere is
yeah.
It says there's a that it was intelligently designed.
Yeah.
And so he was really wrestling with that idea. Wait a minute, why can't any of us answer what came before the Big Bang? And by going through that, he does a whole lot of breaking down of life and what it takes, like the concept of evolution and how things actually evolve in reality and what they can actually see. And that evolution doesn't happen the way Darwin has proposed, and a lot of science kind of just assumes that it does actually. There's a very, very strong scientific case for intelligent design, and it was really, really, really interesting. Super worth checking out, and not a bunch of like weird religious bullshit. It's a scientific case for for proving that there's a God and that there is an intelligent designer, that the things that have happened aren't a bunch of weird accidents,
random shit, just fucking.
And when you get down into like the DNA level of the way species are, he starts breaking down how this stuff works, and it's pretty jaw dropping. These things don't, reptiles don't just turn into mammals, and which turn into like humans, which it doesn't happen actually in nature. So it's a whole lot of like science kind of flying in the face of a lot of assumptions and things that we call science. I thought that was super interesting as well. And I wrote down the book that you just said, Anthony, because that sounds super cool too.
You guys are almost proof like manifestation, though. I think like you guys are living your dreams, and I think you guys all thought these things too. So like you guys are like coders of the universe as well. If you're able to like accomplish your dreams, and I think that's a lot of manifestation as well. You know, I mean, even if you wouldn't call it that, you call it a dream or whatever. You know, whatever terminology. But I think that's a lot of the code of the universe too. Is like being able to dream your reality almost. You know.
Yeah, because it is all mental. It's like our thoughts are just creating our old patterns and shit. It's just creating our reality. Projecting like a projector, you know?
Yeah, our own consciousness. Yeah, we're like presenting how we picture ourselves, which is weird.
Yeah.
You know?
The music's example of creating something from nothing that ends up influencing, changing everything. You know, every one of us over here, at least on my right side of the screen, has written songs that has changed our world, and fans come up every single day that it just completely changed the direction of their lives and everything. And it's just such a weird thing that you can create something out of nothing, something that almost is nothing. It's what are all these sounds that we make and everything. It's just such a weird thing. But yeah, I mean, that is manifestation. I don't know what is. I mean, you're just creating, in many cases, a movement, you know, that is just something that we mess around with in these rooms. You know what I mean? It's like
sometimes like when you're writing a song is you know, as corny as it sounds, like you really do feel like you're kind of just an instrument of something else, you know. Like when you have an idea, or like I've woken up from a dream and been like, I dreamt an entire melody and I need to get it down right now or I'm gonna forget it. And you wonder, like, where did that come from? Did it come from my subconscious? Did it, you know what I mean? So it's so interesting. Yeah.
Almost like you're tapping into higher dimensions that are receiving some sort of information, like psychically or something. Or like, do you feel like you're channeling kind of when you make music?
I don't remember who it was. I feel like maybe it was, who was it? It was Tom Petty? Maybe? No, it was Bob Dylan that said, somebody asked him like about, you know, a song that he written a long time ago, and they were like, do you wish that you could write that song again or something? And he was like, no, because I didn't write it. I was just the instrument that
interesting.
The world, essentially.
Yeah, right,
you know? And I just, that for obviously I'm not remembering the quote, but the idea behind it definitely resonated with me at the time, because I was like, yeah, I get that. You know, there's times where, you know, something will come up, or I'll just be thank God for voice notes or voice memos on my phone, because I have a million ridiculous sounding, you know, but like, you know, you really have to capture it when it comes to you, you know, and it's like, where does it come from? So it's crazy. It's very interesting.
And it can just go away, which is what's I mean, I think of like, you know, just like probably just like you guys, you think of like the bass line, the melody, a vocal idea, like a scat, you have like a beat in your head, and I'll run to my voice recorder and I'll
I do the exact same thing.
Done. I'll literally sing all the tracks of whatever the idea is, because I know that if you don't fucking get that shit right now, I mean, I could be at a pool at a hotel or something, and I have to run around the corner. You know, it happens a lot on flights. I don't know why. I have all these that are in the bathroom of a flight. You know, I have to run to the bathroom and sing this whole fucking song in my phone. And I'm like,
try not to sound like a crazy person. You know, like try to do it quiet enough where people aren't staring at you.
Melodies trying to,
yeah, right. Yeah, like and when so and so sings this part, you know, and
it's like a Larry David episode for sure.
I went back through recently. I had to find an idea, and I was like, I need to get somebody else to start titling these ideas because these are the dumbest, like little, they're just demo names, but it's how many funky jams can I have in my voice memos? You know, it's ridiculous. Like, I got to come up with something better than that. Funky Jam 4.
It's fucking brutal. I know. What I do is I title them from where I'm at. So if I'm at a restaurant or if I'm on a
there you go.
That
where
way
are you 10 years ago?
Yeah, right. So that way I have some way to go back, and because I usually will remember a location. I don't know why. What is it with us where we remember? You can associate. Yeah. For instance, when you're looking in your photos and you need to find photos that you can't remember when you took them and what month it was, just look for the location, and you'll find your photos. You know, I was in Berlin.
Yeah.
I don't know what fucking year I was in Berlin or what years. I mean, I've been there fucking 50 times, you know, but you go back into Berlin, you're only going to have, you know, 100 photos from Berlin, and then you find your photos. So that's what I do. So that's what I do with my voice memos too.
Smart.
Yeah.
Or I tattoo it on my fucking body if it's, you know, Berlin 2011.
Oh, nice. That's great.
So shit that happens sometimes I'll just tattoo it on me. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Pivotal shit. That way I can go, oh yeah, dude. Yeah, when we lived in Europe for a while. Yeah, it was cool. It was 2011.
Yeah. Our violinist tattoos his kids' accomplishments on him. And it's funny because he was doing their height like every 6 months up his legs. And then he had to stop doing it because they got too tall. I think they outgrew him. You know, it's like, what do you do? But he has like a little pile of shit from when his daughter first shit in the toilet for the first time. He's brave. I know he's brave, man. I'm like, all right, man, cool, yeah.
My girlfriend,
Cody, I think you've met him.
My girlfriend does tattoos, so I think maybe I'll put little Poppy and get a little markers on my leg.
There you go. That's great.
A little 6 months. I can do a little. Oh my god, that's a cute idea. New reasons to get tattoos. I love those reasons.
Finally, use the brown ink, right? That brown ink has been sitting there for a while.
I think the difference between like fame and not fame is like a non-famous person saying that would be like weird as hell. But like a famous person, a famous person that's like, oh, that's eccentric. That's really eccentric that he did that. You know, it's like the level of success like changes the outcome of the like whatever it is. You know,
that's hilarious.
Well, I think we've been talking forever. We've probably talked for 9 more hours. But if you guys want to plug anything, maybe I feel like, you know, it's getting late and stuff. You guys want to plug anything before we get out here and stuff? And obviously, I appreciate you guys taking the time. You guys are geniuses, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. Cody and Matt, love you guys' music. Super glad to be on here with you guys. And Anthony and Nikki, thank you so much. I'm super glad for any chance to make awesome content for people that like our music to listen and have some fun and get to know more about us.
Well, thanks, man. Likewise. Huge fan, obviously, so appreciate it.
You guys want to plug your social media?
Or tours coming up or anything, or songs are cool, you know?
We actually just put a new album out Friday.
Awesome.
Actually.
Right.
So, yeah. So it's called Spinning the Truth Around Part 2, and I think it's fucking great. I love it. There's a band that we grew up listening to called Long Wave, and the main songwriter, guitar player, singer from Long Wave is now playing guitar with us. And so it's just a really good vibe. It feels really good. I'm super proud of it. So go check it out, you know, if you get a chance. And I agree with you guys. It's just, it's good to see you guys. And Cody, we met many, many years ago. I don't know if you remember now. We did some shows together a long time ago, but it's good to see you again, man. So yeah. Yeah. So this was fun. Thank you guys.
Good. Thank you guys.
Okay.
Well, cool.
That's it. No one wants to plug anything else?
Cool. Sure. I'm going on tour Friday with Julian K and Powerman 5000. Finishing 45-date run. There's a little space in between where I get to come home and hang out with my daughter, which is amazing. And then I immediately go from that out with Edema and Smile Empty Soul for the second leg of our tour. It went really well the first time, so they added a second leg. That's cool.
Nice.
Added like 14 more shows. And then Julian K is in the middle of releasing. We're so pretentious that we don't release albums. I call them collections. And we release we essentially release singles. And when we release enough of these singles that are part of a collection, we put it together on an album. So we're releasing the Dark Mode collection right now, and it's hard electro, no guitars, all dark wave, kind of like our core roots electro kind of stuff. And that's the other half of this is going to be called Trauma Echoes, which is heavy guitars, sludgy kind of the two sides of who we are. So we're in the middle of dropping singles right now for Dark Mode, and those are coming out every 6 weeks. And all the touring is designed to support and promote that.
Cool. Cody, do you have anything?
No, I mean we're just in the studio right now working on a new collection. I like that. That's I might start.
I'm full of them, brother.
Next year at some point we will be releasing some new stuff. So I guess be on the lookout for that.
Cool. Can't wait to hear it. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks guys so much.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, take care, guys.
Well,
Thanks, guys. See ya.
and thank you for watching at home. I appreciate it. It's cool. Check back next week and see whatever is happening next week. I don't even know yet. So you'll find out when I find out. Buy everything from the sponsors. Listen to all the bands that are on here tonight. And just Google everybody. Get our searchability up, okay? We're struggling out here.